Yeah, well, good afternoon, guys. I think there was a lot of fatigue coming out the 3-game week last week, and we recovered them early in the week. We've got apart from Evander, who's suspended, we've got most players really fit and ready to go. I think we're coming up to probably the biggest week of the season for this football club. 3 massively important games. We're all excited. I think these games are why you get into the sport. It's why you get out of bed every single morning to playing games of this magnitude against teams that are in and around us. Even looking at the teams that we played during the week, Austin and Dallas probably still have high hopes of getting into the playoff game. So, massive week, exciting week. Training at this point of the season is probably just ticking them over, getting them out of bed, getting them into the training ground, making sure they're okay, sending them home, making sure that they're rested. And really all week we've been preparing for a game of football that's going to define our season. And I think when you're at this stage of the season, you now see the permutations. If we win, if they win, if Houston win, where that leaves you in the table. And I think this is going to be one of the best weeks in the MLS I've had for a long time.
Phil, it seems like kind of an eternity ago when you faced at Vancouver in that 3-2 loss. But
yeah.
What did you guys struggle with against Vancouver in that 3 at the back? It was one of the first times that season you got a 3 at the back look.
Yeah, I think it's a three at the back system that's played differently than probably other 3 at the back system. They're really unique in the way that they play. I think obviously really, really well coached team with a distinct identity, different than any other team in the MLS, the whole of the MLS in both conferences. So it caused us problems, particularly in the first half up there. I think we got back into the game, and then we as we've done on the road, we shot ourselves in the foot by conceding a late goal when we got ourselves back into the game with Evander and Pipe scoring. So the game at Providence Park, I thought was quite comfortable. They had a couple of chances early on, and they had a man sent off, so it was quite comfortable in that respect. So we're playing for the Cascadia Cup. We've won 2, we've lost 2, and it's a big competition for the supporters. So there's 2 sort of like strands to this game on Saturday. It's a playoff game. We're playing for a playoff game, and we're playing for the Cascadia Cup. So. Two out the last 4 games is to play for the Cascadia Cup, and we want to make sure that we win that trophy. That's a big, important trophy for this football club. My first ever meeting with the Timbers Army, they virtually told me that that's the competition that they want to win. Obviously, they want to get in the playoffs. They want a bit of everything, but that is so important to them. So it's important to us.
Having covered this rivalry for a long time, prior to Vanni Sartini taking over,
yeah.
It seemed like kind of a rudderless operation that at times would be good, but at other times just didn't seem to know what they were doing. Since he's come on board, and obviously in your time here in Portland and in the league, what do you view Vanni Sartini and Vancouver is doing so well that has allowed them to build the belief and build the success that they've been able to achieve under his managerialship?
Yeah, well, I think they've had really good consistency since he came in. You watched the game last night. Were they the best team? Probably Toronto were the best team, but they won the game. He finds a way to win a game of football. He knows how to win games of football. He knows how to get teams in the playoffs. He knows how to set a team up. He knows how to build a roster. The roster they've got, it's got depth, it's got quality. Have they got star players? They've got 1 or 2 players that stand out, but they're a real strong collective unit. And I think that's what you face when you play against Vancouver, is that you are playing against a team that fight for each other. And like I say, I think tomorrow or Saturday is going to be really tough game. Always is going away from home. Always is going away from home, particularly against a Cascadia rival. And throw on top of that the fact that there's only 4 games left in the season, and we need the points and they need the points. A win will probably take them into the playoffs. A win will take us closer to our destination. So I think it's win or bust, and I think every game now is a cup final, and we've got 4 massive big cup finals, and it's about holding our nerve, sticking to our principles, showing the spirit that we did in the second half against RSL and the quality that we showed in the game against LA Galaxy. If we do that, then we'll be good. Thanks, guys.
We saw Claudio Bravo only play 45 minutes at the weekend against RSL. Is he fully fit? And then what's the battle like for that left back slot between him and Kamal?
Yeah, well, I think I take responsibility. He'd only literally trained for 45 minutes. He'd been out for 2.5 weeks. I probably shouldn't have played him, but we really, really, really needed him back in the team. It was a third game in the week. I spoke to Claudio on Monday morning, and I apologised for him because he should have been coming into the game rather than starting the game. He was physically fit, but the smell of the ball and the speed of the ball, playing at altitude, probably just wasn't quite ready to play at that kind of intense level. But he will be for the next 3 games, and I think the plan for Claudio was to get some real good training under his belt from Monday through to the next couple of weeks and see where he's at. Kamal, we've been really pleased with it at left back. We know centre back's his best position. We know that's where he wants to play, but I think he's filled in really well there. And Eric Miller came on at the weekend and was fantastic. So we've got good options at left back.
Feel a couple. Having in mind last night's game from them, what do you expect? But more than anything, how do you explode that they're coming from celebrating the Canadian Championship, being midweek, intense mental game?
Yeah, well, I think we had a little bit of that last week against Galaxy, even though it wasn't a final. The mental strain coming off that game can take its toll. But what I would say is when you've played 90 minutes and won on penalties and you're holding up the trophy and you've got the medal around your neck, that energy, that adrenaline takes you forward. It doesn't take you back. And, you know, I've got experience of, at this stage in the season, the last thing that those set of players will need is rest. You just go. You just go and you rest when you're on your beach in Hawaii a month later. They have got depth. You know, I think they've got a real deep bench that they rotate. The team that they played against Galaxy, it was the different team they played against Toronto. I expect them to probably use their depth sometime within the game, whether that's the start or during the game. But if I was a professional footballer playing for Vancouver or any team, I would not want to be rested at this stage of the season. I've spoke to players this week about their physical and mental state, and you know, there are some that you think look tired and they don't admit to being tired. They want to play in every single minute of every single game. This is where you earn your money. This is where you get your glory. This is where you get your medals. This is where you get your success. And I expect our team to have that mentality. And we're going away from home now, and we have to have a mentality to win, a mentality not to get beat, a mentality to fight, and a mentality to get in the playoffs. We're playing for 3 points. We're playing for the Cascadia. There are no excuses. You cannot wait around for anything now. There are no excuses from now on.
And the same train of thought, when you see the 3 games coming, fast and furious, you focus on Vancouver, and then let's see what Austin and Dallas does, where they are and what are our needs, or you just see the whole picture from the beginning to set up the needs of your team and the rest and rotations and
stuff?
Well,
I think you take one game at a time. I think if we was talking maybe 6 months ago, we would be planning the whole week. We would be planning the minutes for everybody during the week. We would be thinking probably about the 3rd game in the week, about who can go the 3 games. But I think in this situation, you cannot look beyond Vancouver. If you start thinking about Dallas, you're gonna slip up against Austin and against Vancouver. So Dallas and Austin will look after itself 1,000%. We've got a couple of players on yellow cards. Do we rest them? Do we play them? No, they play. And whatever happens in that game, we trust the players in the next game to play. So that's our mentality. I trust every single one of the players. We've got a situation at this moment in time where we've not got Mason Toye. Tega becomes even more vital for us. He's trained with us all week. He's ready to play. He's ready to score. He's ready to come on if needed to be. Marvin Laria is ready to play. He's chomping at the bit. He's banging the door down saying, I want to play. So we've got players that are ready. Last weekend in the game, we had Miller, we had Paredes, we had Williamson come into the team. Them 3 are going to be big players for us. Christian's not had much opportunity. He's going to be a big player for us. If you look back at the success that this club has had, I think it's 2021 we played NYC. This was Christian Paredes' time. He came into the team later on in the season and performed and was brilliant. So we need the same now.
This last one, thank you. This rivalry is, of course, born in the proximity of the cities, right, and the communities. So it's kind of a love and hate there. And Bunny is a really approachable, open guy. Do you have the chance to create kind of a connection with him? You have a little bit of a, I don't know, tradition or something with him, or not really?
He got me a really nice bottle of red wine when I first went up there. I thought that was a really nice gesture. I think I'm going to take him a bottle of wine for his success in the Canadian Cup. I have respect for him because of the way he sets his team up. I have respect for him because, you know, Dave and Shannon and Liam speak so highly of him as a person. He looks a classy guy. He looks a fun guy. I like the way that he is. He's very much an individual in the way that he coaches and the way that he speaks. And I love how open he is. You know, you can tune into a lot of their social media, and he virtually tells you the team, he tells you their training sessions, and I really admire that. It tells you a lot about him as a person. It tells you he's got a lot of confidence in his philosophy, and that I admire. For 90 minutes, there's not much love, you know, and he'll say the same, but you admire. I admire coaches that I play against. I admire coaches that are in this league. This league, tactically, has come on so much since the time I've been here. Saturday's probably going to be one of the most tactical games that we'll have to play in because of the system that they play and the system that we have to play.
Okay, we'll wrap it there. Thank you.
Oh, it's like a life story, that, Jill, today, wasn't it? Hey, I lost my voice.
Recording stopped.
Recording stopped.